Okay, so here I am in Tinkercad looking at activity 10. You've learned how to use the smart duplicate tool. Perhaps you've made a flower or some other thing like that. And I actually was able to make this pretty cool bracelet here, kind of like a bangle bracelet, by using that tool. And it's a little tricky, but I think you can handle it now that you've been working at Tinkercad for so long. So I'm going to make one from scratch. I'll just go here and new design. And the trick is not so much making it as making something that will print well. So the first thing we're going to start with is a sphere. Okay. And I'm going to hide this here, and I'm going to go to, I always like to be in inches instead of millimeters, but if you like thinking in millimeters, you can. I'm going to move up on it a little bit. I'm going to make all of these 0.75. Okay, so you click on the little box, 0.75, the height box, 0.75. I can get rid of the shape tool here if I want to. So now that is a 3/4 inch round sphere, which is great. Excuse me, what I want to do is cut it in half. So I can either take a box and then turn it into a hole, or I can just take this box hole thing here. I'm just going to kind of put this over my circle, and we know it's might not be quite perfect, but if I highlight both of these things and click on my align tool, there, it's perfectly aligned. Shazam. All right. Now what I want to do is slide it over until I have half of my, oh, that's kind of weird. Wow, I moved that away. What I want to do is cut my sphere in two. And that looks pretty darn close, right? Again, I'm using my rotate tool quite a bit here. And if I group these two shapes together, half of that sphere, it is now a hemisphere or half of a sphere. All right, which is great, except I want the bottom and top flat. So I'm going to do a very similar move with bringing in this box. Might even align it again, just for giggles. Make sure it's nice and even. There it is. It's right in the middle of it. Okay, and then I'm going to use my, come on now. It's nice. It takes a second to get out of there. I'm going to pull this guy up, and I keep on changing my rotate, and it looks like, yeah, if I do that, it tells me that I guess I'm 5/8 of an inch, which 6/8 would be 3/4 of an inch. That tells me I'm lopping 1/8 of an inch off of the top of this guy here, making a flat here. So I highlight all of this, I group them together, and look at that. Nice flat surface on the top of my sphere. I want one on the bottom too. So what I'm going to have to do is rotate this guy 180. And I know I'm moving really fast here, but I know you can handle it because you've been doing this for so long. You should be ninja at your Tinkercad skills. This isn't like activity 1 or something. There, beautiful. Look at that. And it's on my work plane. There's my flat surface. And I'm going to do very much the same thing again by grabbing this box, bringing it somewhat close, sticking it over it, highlighting them both, clicking on my align tool, centering it. I don't even know if this is necessary, but it makes me feel better. Click until that goes away. And now I'm going to start lifting this up, and it should do the same thing as it did before. 1/2, 5/8. So now I've got 5/8. No, 5/8 puts me on the tip of that. I guess I have to come down another 1/8. It kind of snaps down. It's kind of like it goes from place to place. It clicks to that 1/8 of an inch increment there. So I highlight both of these things, group them together, and now I've got this hemisphere with a flat top and a flat bottom. So now what I want to do is the smart duplicate tool, and so I just kind of click on this guy, Control D, which has duplicated it, and I can always get rid of this and zoom in a little more so it's easier for me to see. And it should, yes, have made me a perfect copy of that, right? Then what I want to do, and this is where it gets a little tricky, and you've had to do this in your last activity, I'm going to turn this 30 degrees, just because I say so. And I'm going to move it down until it's kind of joined here. If we zoom in, you can kind of see from the bottom, how that fits together there. All right, and that was 30 degrees. So now if I go Control D again and Control D again and so on, here I'll zoom out a little bit. Control D and D and D and D and D and D and D, and look at that. Booyah, I have myself a bracelet. Pretty cool. All right, I don't know why it's kind of over on this edge of my work plane. What I need to do is turn these all into one object by grouping them. And when I do, it tells me it's 2.741 inches. That's sort of a random thing. What I want is for the hole inside this bracelet to be big enough for somebody to, put their wrist through it, since it's a bangle bracelet. So I'm going to make the outer diameter 3.5 over here and 3.5 over here. And I can move this guy a little more into the center, and it should be about a ½ inch tall. 0.505. I can make that 0.5. Didn't change it much. And these dimensions are 3.5 by 3.5. And that should be a pretty easy print for the printer, because it's got this nice flat bottom and flat top there. And then it's got those rounded edges, and it shouldn't even take too long to print. I've tried doing this without chopping the top off of the bottom and the top of the sphere, and it just didn't print very good. There were a couple of sharp edges and things that didn't come out very nice, and I think this will actually speed up the printing process. So, of course, you want to name it with your name, Mr. Pat's Bracelet, whatever. Bracelet 2, I'm going to call it. All right, and then you know to export it as an STL, send it to your teacher. Show it to your teacher first. Remember, you have a limited amount of prints you can do here, but kind of a neat little way to make a piece of pretty solid, pretty strong plastic jewelry there that you could wear or give away as a gift. So check it out, give it a try, and if you get stuck, see your teacher. We might not help you much, but at least we'll enjoy your difficulties. And like I say, that's how you smart duplicate a bracelet. Enjoy.